What's up, guys? So, this is going to be the most random stream ever, and that's because I wanted to take a second before I actually address a real topic. I need to tell you guys of something that's been happening to me for the past 2 days, and it all started the moment I hit close on my last stream 2 nights ago. You will not believe this, but for some reason that I don't know why, I'm even embarrassed to share this and admit it, but for some reason, as soon as I ended my last stream, I got ready for bed. It took me about 10 minutes or so, and I was just crying, like bawling my eyes out. It was so embarrassing now that I look back. I'm so embarrassed, and I'm even embarrassed that I'm sitting here talking about this, but the next day I talked to a colleague, and this is a colleague that kind of has similar problems to me, except she has actually gone to a doctor and gotten medical attention for that and all that good stuff. But I was telling her about the stuff that was happening to me, the kind of thoughts that I was having. And then she was like, yep, I feel the same way. And then we talked about our weight fluctuations. We talked about how the weather has been affecting us. We talked about just what we do when we get home, which is we seem to be good spirits when we're at work, but as soon as we get home, for some reason, we just stare, stop functioning. We have crazy thoughts. We feel so lonely. We feel some type of way. And when I thought about it, I was telling her, well, for me, I know the cause of my issues. It is hormone imbalances along with a very isolated social life, and really that is my own doing because it's not like I go out of my way to meet people and make friends and go out and whatnot. I'm just a really shy person, and I'm all right with being isolated. I just need one true person, one true friend, one true human that I can just go to and communicate with regularly. But anyways, so on the night of my last stream, I had a rough sleep. Like, I was able to sleep, but I only got about 4 hours, and there's no way that I can function properly at 6:30 a.m. That's when my shift starts, and just run on 4 hours of sleep. So some of the thoughts that I had while I was crying was okay. So the first thing is it's just I guess it's the holidays that does this to me, but I just see people and this sense of togetherness that I gather from other people. It's like other expect to see somebody or they can expect to have somebody. And I knew that I was going to have plans. We made plans to just have a little small gathering amongst close people, but it just felt weird. Something about it to this day still feels off to me about the holidays. But I kept having all these crazy thoughts like I'm never going to accomplish anything in life, like I'm just wasting my time, like I should just give up. I should give up on everything that I like and that I love or that I look forward to. And and then when I woke up the next day, I thought about, you know what, it's Thanksgiving. I'm going to stream, but I absolutely have to talk about what was happening to me. And the first thing that I wanted to say to you guys was because of the rough night that I had, I felt like I'm such a fraud because I'm sitting here talking about how confident I am and positive and, like I lead my life very easily and happily. But I said to myself, I'm not a fraud. That's genuinely who I am. That's how I am. But when I thought about it, I said, okay, I have been working for 5 days in a row. And on the days that I am off, I am so tired that I end up oversleeping and I end up not really doing anything with my day. And then I also thought about the fact that when you're exhausted and on top of that, you have stuff going on in your body, aka, I don't want to get graphic, but it's my day of the month, and my day of the month arrived significantly late. And because it arrived significantly late, it messed me up super physically to where I wanted to call out from how much pain I was in. So it's like, of course, I was due to have a round of crying because everything bad happened to me at the same time. So, yesterday, I had an incredibly terrible day, but it wasn't actually bad. It's the way that I was responding to it that made it bad. So, let me explain. The first thing that happened to me is okay, I'm done at work, and I'm like, thank goodness, I'm off. But I was feeling some type of way physically. So my symptoms were getting a little worse. And I was happy that my shift was a little shorter because there was just no way that I could see myself being able to do a full shift feeling the way that I'm feeling. And I see all of you guys in the comments. It's just that I don't want to lose my flow right now. but but yeah, so I said to myself, okay, I am off. Let me make a plan. I was thinking about going to one supermarket. I sensed that they might be closed, but I said, no matter what, I have to go to that side of town because I have to get gas and I have a preferred gas station. And if you guys wonder why I keep having a wondery eye, it's because I'm actually cooking. So don't mind me while I run the show and multitask. Okay, but so I said I have to go to the gas station, and at the same time I have to go to the supermarket. The supermarket turned out to be closed, but while I was on my way to the gas station, I noticed that my phone wasn't working. And if you guys have been around for long enough, you know that I have the worst reception ever. My streams used to crash, my streams would do all kinds of things, and basically never work. So I had to always be like, oh, guys, I crashed, but thanks for hanging out. And it usually lasted between 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So I reached out to Sprint, and they told me that there are outages in the places that I kept complaining that I don't have reception. And I said, well, how about if you inform the customer that you have an outage, so that way I can make a plan around it, anticipate it, and be like, okay, let me go somewhere where there's Wi-Fi so that I can keep going with my life. No, they don't have the decency of telling you that. And I already shared that story with you guys. But remember, I'm talking about yesterday. So yesterday, once again, I was having issues. And I kept telling them, you know what? I would not be mad if you guys at least communicated to me that there's an outage, because now all I want to say is that I think I deserve freaking credit on this month for not being able to use my phone on the places that I frequent. I think it's fair. Like, I pay good money on my bill to have it not working. So anyways, I was mad. That was a contributing factor. And then I go to the gas station and I try paying at the pump, and my card, for some reason, it wasn't get it declined, it was just not processing. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. And when I went to the counter, they were busy, of course, because everyone is Thanksgiving going to their places, which they should have traveled the day before, but whatever. And I said, I'm not going to wait. So I went to another pump, and it gave me the same little message. And I look at my bank account, and of course there is money there because we got paid a little earlier. So I was just getting completely irritated because it's already been 30 minutes. I have not done anything. I had 2 hours before I had to be prepared to be heading out to my gathering. And I started to get really, really, really stressed out. and I needed gas semi urgently because I was already on my last quarter, which I never let that happen. But because I was having so many late night shifts, I didn't want to be out in the dark refueling. And you might be like, well, Zam, you could have gone during the daytime. Well, not necessarily during the daytime because mornings tend to be particularly hectic for me. So if I would have made time to go to the gas station, I would have had to skip eating or skip taking a shower or something like that. And that is not acceptable at all. But anyways, so I leave the gas station. I'm mad. I have not gotten anything done. I could not go to the grocery store. I could not get gas. So I'm just really, really frustrated. I go to the store, to my alternative store, and it turns out that my phone is still not working. It was not working on the south side of town, and it was not working on the east side of town. So I'm like, what in the hell am I paying for? You know, I was getting pissed. I was mad. So I go shopping and I start just I saw somebody who I know, so I started talking to them. I'm like, look, I'm having a day from hell. This is what's happening to me. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Da da da. Yeah, you look pale. You don't look like you're feeling well at all. And I'm like, no, I'm not. You know, I have all kinds of things happening to me right now. So it felt good to have like someone to just vent to immediately. But it's like my chest was so tight. I felt it burning. I never feel that way, ever. It felt like I was running a marathon, which is crazy because when I run these days, I don't feel that way. So, anyways, I finished my shopping, I checked out, and I called my mom, and I'm like, Mom, you know how I called you like 45 minutes ago telling you that I'm on my way to the gas station, on my way to a supermarket, and then coming back to the other supermarket where I need to get our cold stuff from. And I'll save that for last so that, you know, since it's cold, I just go straight home and not leave it sitting in the car. Well, I haven't been able to do anything. I wasted my time and I am so mad because, you know, I get angry when I waste my time. And I was wondering if you have any teas at home that are good for calming somebody because mom, I am shaking from how mad I am. I am hyperventilating. My chest is tight. I feel like I'm dying. All right. And then she was like, okay, just slow down for me. And are you driving? And I'm like, I am backing up right now. And then she's like, okay, just focus on the road and just don't be distracted. If you're distracted with the call, you know, just hang up and whatever. And I'm like, Mom, remember that I have Bluetooth. I think it's better for you to be on the line than leaving me alone because if you leave me alone, I'm going to just, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, guys, for real, I am never someone who's like, like that. I mean, I'm very chill, very relaxed. Like, I don't know. I felt this just it's like I was in fumes, just floating, flying. It was crazy. And then, so she stayed on the line with me, and I told her, Mom, please keep talking to me because I have no sense of the road at all. Like, I'm driving the usual route that I take to go home, but I notice that I am going way above the speed limit. I'm trying to calm down, but no matter how much I try to relax, I cannot control the pressure on my foot. It's like I can't do it. And she's like, are you sure you don't need to pull over? And I'm like, no, Mom. No, Mom. I'm okay. It's just that I need to finish telling you a story. And she's like, well, just, I'm fixing you your tea. All right. And it's in the stove now, warming up. Just, make sure that you get here. Be careful, be safe, and focus on your driving. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, were you doing something, Mom? Were you busy? Were you doing something important? Were you talking to someone? I know you have your time in the day when you talk to someone. It's your off day. So I'm pretty sure that you're using that time to catch up with some people. Um, am I interrupting something? And she was like, well, yeah, I was on the line with that guy who, you know, but it's all right. I saw that he hung up. Like my phone told me that he hung up, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Do you want to call him back? Do you need to get back to that? I want to be responsible. I want to be able to own something. And she's like, nah, don't worry. I'm here for you. I'm worried about you. And then I was like, well, yeah, I was going to say, could you please stay on the line with me? Because in the past, when I'm really stressed out, I can call someone, like I can call a friend, and we usually talk while I'm driving, and I feel so relaxed. But you're pretty much all I have right now. And she was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I was telling her, I'm turning on this road, I'm turning on this street, and this and that. And I'm like, well, I am going up the hill now, so if you look out the window, you'll see me. And then she was like, oh, yeah, I see you. And I was like, Ma, I'm trying to park in reverse, but I can't do it. Where am I? And then she's like, well, you're right there on top of the line. Just turn the steering wheel just a little more. And, well, now you're close to the neighbor's car, so just drive, go forward, align yourself, look through the mirror, and you should see the line. And I'm like, okay, I see it. But the sensation of having my mom there, like accompanying me, even though she was not physically there, but she was at least over the phone, it was so relaxing. And I guess I wanted to take that moment and just be like, I'm so thankful that I still have my mom and that my mom is the way that she is because, like, I was having a moment of just struggling, which I never struggle. She never sees me struggling. And I was able to count on her support right there and then. And I'm like, you know what? I'm so happy. I'm so happy about that. I had a terrible day and I was still like shaky when I got home, but I'm like, my mom was there for me. And it felt amazing. I always knew that I could count on her, but to just have her on the line and I was overreacting to situations that never upset me, but whatever caused it, let it be physical, chemical, emotional, out of stress or whatever. It's like I'm just happy for the people that I have in my life because they may be few, but at least I know that they're there and I can count on them. So I just did not want to take that for granted. Maybe I needed to have that crisis of feeling like I'm dying and then her fixing me a tea, which she made a mint tea that was doubled. Never in my life have I drank tea with 2 bags in it. But she had told me over the phone, I am really going to load up this tea because you sound like you're out of it. And I'm like, yeah, mom, that's why I called you asking if we have any teas that have a calming effect because I don't know. I feel like banging my head against concrete. And then after I chilled out, I'm like, what happened to me? Why did I respond in that way that is uncharacteristic of me? I never trip like that. I went bananas over stuff that I can handle. Like, the problem with Sprint, it's a problem because I need my phone, I need it to work, I'm paying for it, it's not working. Then the grocery store that's across from the gas station being closed. That wasn't really bothering me because I anticipated that it might be closed. But then seeing that my card was not working and I drove 10 minutes away in vain and did nothing, I've mentioned before in another video that I absolutely detest wasting time. Let it be I waited in a checkout line too long, or traffic is jammed, or say, you ever have the sensation that you hung out with someone or you dated someone and you felt like it was a complete waste of time, but when you reflect on it, you're like, it wasn't a waste of time because I got to know someone, I tried something, it didn't work out, but I learned lessons. Everyone can teach you a lesson. So it's not wasteful like that, but I wanted to know what the hell happened to me. Why did I suddenly react in that manner? Why did I'm telling you, I needed help. And when I think about it, I guess I've had rough weeks, and when you don't feel physically well, on top of that, stuff gets real. It affects you, and it made me think about some topics that I address here, which is why do people not do better about handling their lives and being more responsible and whatnot? And I'm like, well, maybe they want to, but the stress that I felt that made me not recognize myself, maybe they feel that way all the time, but they don't know how to express it or identify it. So I'm thinking, maybe the problem is not really constantly the responsibility of the person. Maybe they just need to reach out and they don't know that they can reach out and make things easy. Just like me simply calling my mom made me feel better, and her doing something as simple as fixing tea. And I also told her to, if she could, warm up some garbanzo beans for me for my iron, because I don't know if I've told you guys that I am kind of anemic. But yeah, it runs in the family. And then I said, well, since I'm on my days, I better fill myself up with as much blood as I can, with as much iron as I can, because otherwise I will collapse, which it has happened 4 times in my life. 2 times happened at work, and 2 times happened when I was visiting my dad. It is pretty scary. I look absolutely mummified. I look pale, and I am weak. I have slurred speech. I'm just completely weak. I'm just completely blacked out, and it feels awful to pass out for due to a deficiency. So, anyways, guys, I thought that I would share with you guys what happened with me, because it was awful. And even last night, I had another round of crying. And this time, the reason why I was crying last night was because I'm like, I'm such a failure. I'm still dwelling on this. I'm still feeling crappy. I'm still letting my physical discomfort get to me. I'm also tired and I still have to go to work in the morning. And traffic is going to be bad because it's Black Friday. And, all that stuff. It's like, can I please just take one thing at a time? Because I don't know why I stopped thinking that way. That's usually how I think. I'm never, what is it, stressing myself out thinking about the future. It's like, no, what's priority right now is to sleep. When I wake up, I need to get ready. After I get ready, I need to drive. After I drive, my destination is, of course, to arrive at work safely. When I'm at work, I do a great job. When I'm out of work, I pick up my day. What happened to me? Why did I lose it for 2 consecutive days? Had this been bubbling up and it was a matter of time before it exploded, or is this really how I am going to be when I experience stress? And then I just told myself, you know what, just take it easy, girl. It happens to the best of us, I guess. I don't imagine that everyone is perfect. But to anybody out there who never loses their crap for years on end, I admire you, because for me it's a combination of physical factors and emotional factors all got in the way. And of course there's some stuff that it's kind of too personal still that I'm not willing to share at the moment, that also were among my thoughts. It has to do with family, that I haven't expressed yet, but yeah, it's like I need to go back to being that person who can let go of crap. But now I'm feeling a whole lot better. As you can see, I'm here, I'm streaming, and I'm also not shying away from my friends. I have been texting a few people, whereas in the past few days I had just completely isolated myself. I thought that everything I said, nobody wanted to hear. And last night I was messaging a friend, and he was saying something, and then I thought that he was annoyed by what I said, and then I started crying, and then he was like, oh my god, I did not mean it like that, what is happening, da da da. And then I'm like, it's not your fault, maybe we just need to go to bed, it's late, and stuff like that. And then I'm like, what is happening to me? The sentence was clear. There was nothing off about what was communicated to me. why did I react like what I was saying was not welcome? That person did not feel that way about me at all. I feel that in. So what is my mind doing to me? But anyways, guys, that's what happened. I thought that I would share uh, a moment of my life because it's weird that I talk about this stuff. But anyways, so I'm gonna catch up with your comments, and after that, I'm gonna have to leave you. But I haven't forgotten that we need to talk about Thanksgiving, and of course, we need to do a Black Friday topic. Let's see. Zombies here. Felix is here. Sorry to hear about this. Don't worry about it. Life has gotten so much better. Is this coworker a good friend? She could be that particular friend you need who you can turn to. Absolutely. This coworker actually happens to be one of my managers. So she is about my age too. So it's very easy for us to get together and have, things in common and just have a good time, get together, communicate, relate, and all that good stuff. But but it's when you're at work, it's difficult to bring this stuff up, of course, because you have a job to do. But then when it comes to outside of work, it's just for me to make the first move about messaging someone or calling someone. It takes a lot of effort. It's crazy. It's like I'm always thinking that I am inconveniencing them. They're always like, "Oh, it's so good to read from you. It's so good." We can be having a perfectly fine, awesome, fun conversation, but in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking that I am taking too much of their time, that we shouldn't be talking this much, or just anything. I'm ruining my own moment thinking for them. If they were truly busy and did not have the time for me as the responsible adults that they are, hopefully, they would tell me. So why am I being my own worst enemy? See? So I get in my own way of social situations. But anyways, um, the holidays do this to a lot of people from what I hear. And that too, most people when they're out and about, you're so focused on what it is that you're going to do for the holidays. And are you really enjoying yourself? We talked about this a couple of days ago. I was asking that question. How happy are you actually during the holidays? Because you're constantly on the go, looking for stuff, looking for deals, trying to buy stuff. So you cannot tell me that this is your favorite time of the year. I'm pretty sure that someone out there is going like, ugh, I gotta get the house ready for these people. I gotta have this and that for that person. And I'm going to be hosting. I need to have a plan to clean up and all that. Like, is that really your definition and idea of fun? Because for me, I have a very different concept of what I consider fun and amusing and a good time. But then again, I'm weird. But anyways, oh, this is gonna be great. The best thing about Thanksgiving is that little plate that you get to bring with you home, and you don't have to cook for like 2 days. So that's what I'm doing because I don't have a lot of time right now. I gotta leave in about an hour. I'm just going to the gym, nothing special. Um, let's see. Garuda says hi. Yes, I finally catch you because I know last time I was literally saying bye bye, and that's when you decided to arrive in the kitchen, right where she belongs. What? Zam in the kitchen, her natural place. Okay, you guys, it sounds like you are holding me to a very high standard because I am definitely not very culinary oriented. I'm not saying that I cannot cook to save my life. Like, I can do stuff, but it's not like I know how to cook for a group of people. So, say if let's see, the 8 of you who are here decided to like arrive here, there is going to be messy. So I would try to feed y'all, but it's gonna be messy. but but yeah, um, the kitchen jokes, which they don't bother me. But yeah, seriously, if you think that I'm this person who can like cook Anything? No. I have a very limited diet, so I really do not try anything outside of that. Sounds like you have an anxiety disorder. Welcome to the club. Yes, actually. Have I ever told you guys the story of how when I was in high school, since my junior year, my guidance counselor, ouch, was trying to she had already referred me to therapy, and the only thing that happened was I never showed up to any of my therapy sessions because I had a strong feeling that the conversation of drugs and taking medication was going to come up, and I was going to say, uh-uh. So, yes, I do have anxiety. It's not a secret. My guidance counselor is not necessarily a therapist, so she's not really the person who's like licensed to diagnose me with that, but you don't need to be very scientific to know that there is something off with me and that I overreact to certain situations. I've known it, but that's the whole reason why it became a concern because, she's done this for many years, observing teens to know when one of them is predisposed. So, again, I didn't need therapy, I just needed support. And the thing that makes me object therapy is I am not someone who can go to a complete stranger and just open up like that. I would rather find the support from family or friends, and that's exactly what I happened to get. It just took a couple of years after my high school days, but I had faith. I was always a girl with faith. I knew that stuff was going to get better for me. I just needed to be patient and not give up and not do habits or pick up habits that would make my situation worse. Never drank, never smoked, never messed with anything, never hung out around wrong influences. So I cannot talk and work at the same time. But anyways, just whatever little bit that I had control over, I tried to make the best choices. So maybe that's just what helped me. Sounds like you have. Okay, I just read that. Yeah, when I'm at the worst of my anxieties, I'm pretty much feeling like you described all the time. August of last year was almost 2 solid weeks of it. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I'm glad you're feeling better. The worst part of these times is they make you not want to take steps to make it better. It's really insidious shit. Yeah, like, I guess another contributing factor is that for the last 2 weeks, I have not been able to really work out like I usually do. And maybe that, along with my imbalance, is making me physically, I can feel weaker. Like I cannot lift like I used to a month ago, which, of course, I was at my prime. But I know that I'll get back in shape. It's also the weather, like this cold weather does not inspire anybody. But I'm not trying to make excuses. It's just that I'm trying to put it out there and acknowledge the fact that over here, not everything is flowers and dandelions, and that if you're going through something similar, just this is what worked for me. What worked for me was find that refuge on someone who I love and trusted, and I felt a whole lot better. So hopefully that would help for you guys if any of you guys ever have crises like this. Sounds like there's just a lot going on in your life right now. You'll be better soon. Yeah, definitely. I had been talking to my friends about it. I've been saying, okay, people, this is November and December and the beginning of January. It's going to be a miserable ass time. It happens every year. So something is going to happen. I am preparing for it. I am preparing for it. The time is here. It's November. I am prepared for it. No. Turns out I was not prepared at all. So that's the thing. I took whatever it was last year that was bothering me and I said, okay, next year, which is this year, this is what I'll do differently. And I took care of those things. But now something new, something unexpected that I didn't know could bother me, showed up, turned up, came up, and it got me. But now, because of this year, I'll be better for next year so that I can anticipate even crazier BS and react to it a little better. React to it more positively, I guess. But anyways, you guys, I thought that I would share that story because I was just mind blown because I like to be over here just talking about how even though life gets miserable, sometimes I can handle it. And then right after I finished talking to you, I had a breakdown and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I also told myself, you know what? It comes with being a woman. I'm just an emotional creature by default. But at the same time, it bothered me because I like to think that I have control at all times, but apparently not. So, whatever. It's whatever. I'm here. That's what matters. And I will come back at some point and talk about the things that we should really talk about, which is Thanksgiving and Black Friday. I'm not sure at what time I'll be back today, if today, but the worst that can happen is I stream like at 10 o'clock Eastern time or something, because that's usually the time that I'm sort of winding down, getting ready for the next day. So if you don't see me too early, then that's it. Nighttime. If you don't see me at nighttime, then I'm definitely not going to do it today, and I'll just do it tomorrow. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Your girl gotta eat. So I'll see you soon. Bye bye.